Shalom Aleichem. Oh, Chai Verai. Thank you very much. So, it's written that we need to open בכבוד של אכסניה to say thank you to the place that is hosting us. So I wanted to tell you that today, if we're already here in Toronto, so I've been in the Niagara Falls, and I was very disappointed. Why? Because we had the zchut to say the brachot that you need to say and to see that magnificent nature. But then I realized that all of the world can be so excited by looking at nature and not understanding that there is so much more than that. It's nature. It's amazing nature. But Hashem is beyond nature. And nature without Hashem, it's like a body without a soul. So I want to open with honoring the place. And like we know, it's written that tefillah belo kavanah, a prayer without an intention, is like a body without a soul. And you don't want to have a body without a soul. It's like you don't have anything when you have a body without a soul. So also when you have nature without Hashem, you don't have anything over there. It's like an empty space in the middle of the world. The truth is that we need to learn from every situation in life, every place that Hashem is bringing us to that place, we need to learn from that something for our own Avodat Hashem. You can have wisdom, you can have knowledge, you can have wealth, you can have good look, nice house, you can have amazing things. If you don't have don't have Hashem Yitbarach inside of you, not in your faith, not in your wisdom, inside of yourself, if you don't live with Hashem, like Hashem is commanding us, Asu li mishkan, v'shachanti betocham, you need to prepare yourself to build a mishkan, and then I'm going to live inside of you. If we don't have Hashem Yitbarach inside of us, so it's like that dead body without a soul. It's like that huge empty house, amazing empty house with no people inside. We don't want that. And the Torah have 48 things that we should achieve if we want to buy the Torah. Kinyanim, that we need to buy those things if we want to learn and understand the Torah. And one of them is Hayodai et Mekomo, is that we should find our own place and to know it, to recognize our place. But which place is it? Like we said, a place can be the physical place, that's not the place. If you should know your place and you're going to check your body, your place from the side of your physicality, it's not the real place. Actually, that place doesn't have no existence when there is something that is beyond the place, that is Hashem Yitbarach, that it's your soul, that He is Mekomo Shel Olam, that He is the place that contains the world, and the world cannot contain Him. So the world actually doesn't have no existence when you understand that there is Hashem in the world, Ribono Shel Olam. So when you need to find your place, actually you need to find your connection to beyond the place. You need to find the roots of your soul. And that's your real place. That's who you really are. Because only to that there's existence. And your body is מעפר באת ואל עפר תשוב. You came from earth, from dust, and to that place your body gonna come back to. And the soul is divine. And the soul is eternal. And if we want really to connect ourselves to something real, so we have to connect ourselves to our spiritual being, to who that we are inside. And on that, there's a huge war. Hashem even created the Niagara Falls to distract people from finding Hashem. When there's darkness, no one can see the light. If you find yourself in darkness, you don't need to blame yourself that you cannot see the light. Because it's dark outside, and this is why you cannot see the light. Hashem Yitbarach, He decided that we gonna be in this world, in this generation, with those difficulties, with all of those crazy distractions that we can see all around us. That even the righteous people, Tanaim and Amoraim, were crying not to come in that last generation. Because they knew what they're going to go through as holy souls, as Tanaim and Amoraim in this generation. I know a huge rabbi, a huge righteous man. His name is Rav Alter David Chaim Stern from Bnei Brak. And he testified, and I heard him. And people are saying that he is one of the Lamed Vav Tzadikim Nistarim, from the hidden righteous people. He is a student of the Chazon Ish, a huge giant, Anak B'Torah, Bir'ah, a huge holy man. He was a student of Rab Lebovich, Rabbi Yehuda Lebovich. We're talking about a huge man, a righteous man, that everyone that meets him respects him and realizes that he's standing in front of an angel. And he testified to me, I heard him saying that two of his children in a different lifetime, they were Tanaim. Okay, I heard it. And I took it. And I realized that even though the Tanaim and Amoraim cried and begged to Hashem Yitbarach not to come in this world, okay, it's a nice prayer. But Hashem Yitbarach is not obligated. He's got his way in the world. And he can decide that that Tana will come to this generation. And I'm telling you, from my relationship with those two righteous people, his children, amazing rabbis, huge people, going through what they're going through in this lifetime. It's not easy for them, and also for them it's not easy. And even though that in a different lifetime there were Tanaim and Amoraim, okay, they have Siyata Dishmaya, but they're still part of this world. Because when it's night, everyone are in darkness. And you cannot avoid darkness at night. Until Hashem is going to declare on you, no, you need to live in the light. Okay, and then you're going to shine, your eyes going to shine, the path going to be clear, and you're going to walk in the day. The people that went in darkness, suddenly they saw a huge light. Great. But we need to understand, when Borei Olam is hiding himself from us, when the Creator is hiding himself from us, so then there's nothing to do. And when you blame yourself that you cannot see Hashem, or that you're not succeeding, or that you don't have money, or that your wife is arguing with you, or you're not succeeding with your children, you just lose the truth. You just fall into lies, into your imagination, into that power of imagination that is distracting you from Hashem. The Creator created the world with that intention, that the world gonna block the light of Hashem. That's exactly what did Hashem done. He brought darkness to the world. So now it's dark. There's nothing we can do except of screaming and calling to Hashem Yitbarach and begging to Hashem Yitbarach, please bring us back to the path. Bring that shepherd that's going to call us. and going to bring us to Him, to you, to find the light of the Torah, to understand your message. What did you want from us? Please Hashem Yitbarach. That's the only thing we can do. To turn on the light, it's not in our powers. Do you know how many huge righteous people tried to bring Mashiach, tried to bring the Geulah, and they all died, and they all suffered, and they all went through crazy difficulties, and they sacrificed so much, and they couldn't do it. Why? Because Hashem Yitbarach, He's got a plan. And that plan is coming from such a high place, from such an amazing place, such wisdom that is beyond this world. So no one that is trapped still in this world can't get it, can't understand it. And you just need to accept the fact that we cannot understand it all. And you just need to keep on doing whatever we're able to do, whatever we can do to help another one soul, to make another one step to the future. One step to be closer to the truth, to find another spark, another point of inspiration, another minute of hope. You gave that to a person, you gave him everything. Because if you have all of the rest and you don't have that, it's like a body without a soul. People can live all of their life with money, with success, with honor, with cars, with villas, with everything, with amazing families, and to feel dead from inside, like they haven't started to live their lives. And that's how they feel. They feel, I'm wasting my years. I'm wasting my life. In the business, without the business, with vacations, without vacations. Where is the life? Where is the reason to live? Where is the reason to open the eyes and to smile in the morning, to be able to say good morning, to hug your wife, to hug your children, to go to another day of work, of being happy, satisfied from your life? People with children are crying, without children crying, with money crying, without money crying, with a house crying, without a house crying. People are suffering. Why? Because the lack of faith. The lack of that connection to the Creator, that He's Chai Chaim, that He's the source of life. And when you're disconnected from Him, no matter how many coverings you have to block the light of Hashem, it won't make you happy. You can be distracted with cars and with the business and with the career and with everything with the amazing watch. It's just this blocking and distracting your thoughts from Hashem. And when you have Hashem with you, so you see Hashem through everything you have. That's the greatness of rich people that have faith. This is why Rebbe was honoring righteous, wealthy people. Why? He wasn't honoring every rich person, every wealthy person. Only the ones that were honoring Hashem. For sure, you're not allowed to honor Reshaim, evil people with money, for sure. We're not talking about those people. When Rebbe was honoring rich people, he was honoring rich people that were ashirim b'kedusha. Their wealth was holy wealth. So those rich people that have wealth and they remember Hashem, they're actually succeeding in something that is greater than poor people that believe in Hashem. Why? Because they have much more things to distract their thoughts, much more things that are blocking their eyes, and this is why they're greater, because they're crossing all of those walls and they're penetrating all of those coverings, and they also find Hashem Yitbarach inside of that. For a poor person that doesn't have anything in his world, he doesn't have a choice except of crying to Hashem and calling Hashem Yitbarach. He's also in a test, but it's not as hard. Us, in this generation, even the poorest people have all of the distractions that the world can provide. You have hell in your pocket, that's the iPhones and the smartphones. Also those ones are hell. And it's a window to hell. It's not a door, it's a window. You're going to testify. I don't need to tell you. And outside, and people, and opinions, and big cities, and business, and news. It's hell. And it's coming from all directions, and every person with his opinion. And those opinions are distracting your thoughts from the truth and taking your focus from the center of your, where is Hashem? When you open your eyes and you look, you see people, you see houses, you see friends, you see, and all of those things are not Hashem, those are covering. When you close your eyes, then there's nothing, only Hashem. So those huge people that are able to close their eyes, from looking in this world, from staring, from losing their connection to Hashem, those huge people that have that power, they can see Hashem Yitbarach in every situation. When you still have lust for women, when you still have desire for cars, for fancy things, then you cannot see Hashem because you have a desire. When you have a desire, you're still a slave of that desire. That desire controls you. A few years ago, I stopped drinking black coffee for something like 2 years. Why? Because in one of the days, I really wanted to drink coffee. Not like that poor coffee that you have here in Canada. I'm talking about real Turkish coffee. The one that you can drink in Eretz Israel. And I really wanted a cup of that coffee. And we didn't have. And it made me so angry. I was so stressed. And I wanted that coffee so badly that I lost my mind. I was angry. And then I looked at myself and I said, hey, you're losing your mind. And you're about to destroy your Shlom Bayit. And to be angry at your children, whatever. You're going to lose your mind now because of a stinky cup of good coffee. You don't want that. It stinks. And I decided, so I'm not going to drink coffee anymore. And for 2 years I wasn't drinking coffee, and it's not such a big deal. Just לעולם ירגיז אדם יצר טוב על יצר רע. You need to make yourself angry on your יצר רע. If you see that you are losing your mind with your iPhone, with your smartphone, if you see that you're losing your mind because of the news, you need to decide, I'm not going to watch no more news. I'm going to change the phone to a kosher phone. I'm not telling you change your phone. I'm not telling you don't watch news. I'm telling you, find yourself. Be aware to yourself. Check yourself. What is breaking your spirit? What is rejecting you from Hashem? Don't do that. Look for Hashem. And don't be afraid from the war. Because no matter what, we are in the war. We are in the battlefield. You're born to the battlefield. You're born into a time zone, to a time of war. There is nothing you can do to save yourself from the war. And if you're not going to run, they're going to kill you. You need to fight. And it's a war for the life. You need to fight for your life. And you need to save yourself, and you need to save your children, and you need to save your neighbors and your friends and all of your company. And each and every one of us have a purpose. And we're able to achieve it. Because Hashem Yitbarach Himself sent us to this generation. There is an amazing tale that Rabbi Nachman of Breslev once told. And he said there was a king and he wanted to conquer that huge city. And he came with his special forces, with his army, in front of the wall of that amazing city, giant wall. And he decided to break that wall. And they were planning and thinking how to do that. And they sent the first division and second division. And everyone are dying on that wall. All of the soldiers, one unit after the other. And everyone are dying on that wall. And in the end, he's calling for backup. And more soldiers are coming. And everyone are falling. And the city is standing strong. Soldiers inside are strong. That's the king, the person that wants to beat the Yetzer Hara. He wants to break his body. He wants to find his soul. He wants to find the neshama. And he's trying to fast and to learn Torah. And he's falling from the Torah. And he's falling from the chatzot and from the nets and from the mikveh every day. And from tikkun haklali every day. And from mincha in public, in tzibur, in a minyan. And ma'ariv. Who is talking about Ma'ariv? We're not talking about Ma'ariv for a long time already. And more divisions and more units are falling and falling and falling. And in the end, he's finding himself the king, standing alone. All of his soldiers died. The Tanaim and Amoraim, they died. Our ancestors died already before. And other students and righteous people, and the Savoraim and the Geonim, they all died already. And then you have the Baal Shem Tov and the Talmidei Baal Shem. They all died. Ari HaKadosh, he died. Rav Shimon, everyone died already. And the wall, the Yetzer Hara is in full power. Full power. And the king is standing naked, all alone. He doesn't know what to do. He have to win that war. You have to kill his Yetzer Hara. What are you going to do? And he's looking, and suddenly he's realizing, even though that I lost all of my soldiers, all of the army, and that all of them died, I can still see that we injured, we damaged that wall in a very severe way. And I have the way to fix it. So what I'm going to do? He went back to his city and he called the women and the old people and the children, and they told them all to come to join him. And when they came, so the wall looked strong. It still looked very strong. But the truth is that the way that they damaged that wall was so strong, so severe, that with the women and the children, he was able to open and to break that wall. And that's what he done. And that is exactly what the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing. If we would be the first generation, we would die immediately. HaKadosh Baruch Hu used the first division and the second division and the third and the fifth and today, even though that we are here and we're very weak, but we are the ones that have been sent to that last generation. And over here we have the ability to break that wall, because that crack that our ancestors and the righteous people and the simple people with their tears and with their simple tehillim and with their mesirut nefesh and going into the stoves, into the fire and losing their souls only based on their Judaism because they were holy enough to be part of Am Yisrael and sacrifice themselves. And Hashem Zocher Chasdei Avot, He remembers the kindness of our ancestors. And He remembers and He sees and He counts the tears and the sorrow and the pain. And that crack is so severe that we now have the ability to win the war. And we just need to believe in ourselves. That even though that we see that we are weak, even though that we see that from that side of our physical body, our body is barely functioning. We barely wake up in the morning. We barely catch a minyan. We barely put tefillin. We barely do something in Avodat Hashem. And even if we do, so Yetzer Hara is coming and grabbing it with our arrogance and with our pride. And we imagine to ourselves, oh, today I learned Torah, today I give tzedakah, today I put Rashi and Rabbeinu tam tefillin, today I done this, today. That's nothing. And we're falling, and we're weak, and we're tired. But we're on a mission from Hashem. And if Hashem sent us here, it means that we can succeed. And if we can succeed, this is why Rabbi Nachman of Breslev said, En Yehush ba'olam klal. And he was shouting, there is no despair in the world at all. Why? Because we just need to make one more step. One more step. We need to learn another Mishnah. We need to say another Dvar Torah. We need to wake up to another morning. We need to want Hashem. We need to do another minute of Hitbodedut. One word to Hashem. You don't know how much it counts. You don't know how much it's going to change you from inside. Think about an athlete, someone that runs the marathon, some basketball team that are playing, and they're going to stop 1 minute before the end. They're going to give up 1 minute before the end. They're going to lose the game. They're going to lose the race. You cannot stop. And even if you're dead tired and you're barely making it, you have to make another step. And that last step going to be the step that's going to bring the redemption. And it can be your step. And it can be my step. And it can be our step. Because we're all marching to Zion. We all have a purpose. And we have one purpose. We need to believe in Hashem. Like the Zohar HaKadosh is saying. What the purpose of this world? The Zohar HaKadosh is saying, Begin dishtem odein le. That we all going to know Him. Ladat oto yitbarach, velakir oto yitbarach. To know Him, to recognize Him, yitbarach, Hashem yitbarach. That's our purpose. And we're very close to that. Because we already know a lot. Hashem yitbarach already revealed to us a lot about Him. We can find Him. We can find Him in the books. We can find Him in the Shalom Bayit. We can find Him in the Parnassah. Yetzirah is distracting our thoughts to think that our failures, our physical lackings, that's our level. But like we said before, when you try to find your place, what is my level? What is my place? Where am I standing? You cannot find it in your physical aspect, in your body. That's my level. No. There is Mekomo Shel Olam. There is the spiritual root, the spiritual aspect of your being. That's who you really are. That's what you need to look for. We have to seek for that. We need to seek for our spiritual connection to the Creator, because only that have existence. That's the only truth that there is. Because that world calls Alma Deshika, the world of lie. And that world created by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to block the light of Hashem. Olam been called Olam, the world been called Olam, Milshon Ha'elem, because it's hiding, blocking the light of Hashem. It's covering the light of Hashem. That's the purpose of the physical creation, to block the light of Hashem. Adam HaRishon, it's written on him that his heel was shining more than the sun. The lowest organ of Adam HaRishon was shining more than the sun. He was a spiritual being. But then after he sinned, after he been contaminated, so then Hashem dressed him with a physical body, with skin that is blocking the light of his soul, but it's still him inside. But he cannot see that because he's distracted by his look, by his height, by his weight, by his clothing, all of those coverings. But the truth is that Neshama shenatata bi teorahi, that the soul that you gave me is pure. And even if a person is the worst sinner in the world, and he's going to sin for 120 years, and in the last day of his life, he's going to say, you know what, I want to read from the Siddur. First time in my life, before I'm going to court in heaven, I want to read Tfilat Shacharit. And he's going to open the Siddur, and he's just going to read the words of the Siddur. He's going to say to Hashem, Elokai, Neshama shenatata bi tehora, the soul that you gave me is pure. Can it be that lies are written in the Siddur? We're talking about the worst sinner in the world, never made, kept no mitzvah, 120 years of sins. But he's reading the Siddur now in the last day of his life. Let's say he doesn't even have the intention to read it. He's just reading it. He thought it's the New York Times, and he just read it. But he now just said those words, Elokai, Neshama shenatata bi tehora. There's no way in the world that he's lying, because it's written in the Siddur. Because the verses are telling that to us, that our soul is pure. Because we have chelek eloka mimal. We have part from heaven, godliness inside of us. Part of God, part of Him. His being is inside of us. V'shachanti betocham. Betoch ami anochi yoshevet. The Shechina Kedosha is inside of us. Shechina Kedosha betochenu, inside of us. You have part of the Shechina. You have part of a Kadosh Baruch Hu inside of you. And that part is the only real part that you have. And your body is only covering that is coming from Alma Deshika, the world of lie. Your physicality is your lie. It's your distraction from your soul, from your real connection to the Creator. So we need to fight with our bodies. And we need to fight, לעולם ירגיז אדם יצר טוב על יצר רע, to make ourselves angry on the fact that we're falling to those imaginations of hunger, of tiredness, of laziness, of sadness, of depression, of whatever. We need to be angry on that. And we need to choose the truth and to look for our soul and to seek for our neshama, for that pure soul that we have inside of ourselves. And not to look on other people. That looks good. Oh, that guy, he learns 10 hours a day. That person is giving so much charity. That person, he owns a shul. That person, he went to Uman. That person, I don't know what he's doing. The truth is that I couldn't care less, except of being happy for him. I don't have no business with him. Because Hashem sent me to my mission. And He created me and I born alone. And when I'm going to go after 120 years, I'm going to go alone. And He's going to ask me, what are you bringing? What have you done? Tell me your story. And He's going to judge me on every thought, on every act, on every word. And I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be able to stand and to say, I missed my first half of my life. But in the second half, I tried. I was really trying, I wasn't able to learn so much Torah. I wasn't able to give so much tzedakah. I wasn't able to run to every mitzvah, kala kachamura. I wasn't able, but I was trying. I was helping some people. In that day, it was very hard for me, but I tried. And when I had that amount of money, so I cut it to half and I give it to someone. And I remember that in that day, I helped to mashlim minyan, to complete a minyan. And I was doing some good in my life. I want to be able to feel good with myself, with what that I've done. Hashem is not expecting us to be someone else. Not to be that Talmid Chacham, and not to be that generous person, and not to be that hero. No. If Hashem would look for heroes, He would choose the generation of the Tanaim. And if He would look for righteous people, He would choose the generation of the Amoraim. Rachmana libabai, the Creator, He wants the truth, He wants the heart. And we need to give the truth. We need to give our hearts. And we have that ability. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Creator, He's not expecting from us to do things beyond our reach, beyond our power. He just wants us to find Him. And He's inside of us. He's inside of you. לא רחוקה מכם, it's not far away from you. לא בשמיים, not in heaven, not across the sea, not on the highest mountains, not in the deepest valleys. Just בפיך, in your mouth and in your heart, you're going to find Hashem. When you're going to talk to Hashem, when you're going to look for Hashem Yitbarach inside, there you're going to find Him. Because Hashem is close to everyone that calls Him with truth. No matter in which level you are at, you hit rock bottom in hell. David HaMelech is saying, Ki atzia sheol, hineka. I'm going to see you in the lowest level of hell, under the sheets of hell. In the lowest place in hell, I'm going to find you, Hashem. Rabbi Natan, the student of Rabbi Nachman of Breslev, he said once that even if Hashem going to send him to hell, He's going to start saying Likutei Moharan over there in hell, and all of righteous people are going to come straight from heaven to listen to the Likutei Moharan, and it's going to become heaven. In hell, you can make a huge, amazing Sudat Mitzvah in hell, to start mentioning words from Rabbeinu HaKadosh in hell. There's no problem. You can find Hashem Yitbarach even in hell. Even in hell you can find Hashem, even in your own hell. Even inside your life that you can say, you cannot call it life, it's hell. Even over there you can find Hashem. אפילו בהסתרה שבתוך הסתרה. Even if Hashem Yitbarach is hiding the fact that He's hiding Himself from you, means that you don't even look for Hashem. But in that moment, that you just say, Ayeh mekom kevodo la'aritzo. What are we saying when we're saying, Ayeh mekom kevodo la'aritzo? Ayeh, it's where? Mekom kevodo, a place to honor Him. Where is that place to honor Him? Where? That's not a question of a believer to ask, where can I honor Hashem? Where can I respect Hashem? It's almost a question of a kofar. It's almost a question of a person that doesn't believe in Hashem. Where is Hashem that I'm going to honor Him? Where Hashem was in the Holocaust? Where Hashem was in that war? Where is Hashem if I'm giving my masrot, am I losing my money? Where is Hashem if I'm helping my wife so much and He hates me and she hates me? Where is Hashem Yitbarach if I'm sending my children to Talmud Torah and they're coming so sad and depressed and broken from school? Where is Hashem? That's a question of a believer. But when the person is asking even that question, where is Hashem? It's an evidence for his faith. And then, that question that you ask, where is Hashem? Haselola. It becomes to be that sacrifice, that animal that Avraham Avinu brought instead of Yitzchak. Haselola. You're asking because Avraham Avinu was asking. Where is that? Where are you, Hashem? What's going on? Really, I need to take my son and to slaughter him? I need to sacrifice my only son, my only child, Yitzchak? I need to sacrifice him now? Where are you, Hashem? What's going on here? Suddenly, he sees that animal. He sees that sacrifice that is replacing his son and bringing his son to heaven, to the highest level in heaven, and give and inherit the wisdom and the purity and the legacy of holy nation of Am Yisrael to his child, to Yitzchak. And only because that he was asking, where are you, Hashem? So you need to believe that you can find Hashem Yitbarach even if you lost your faith. Even if you're in the valley of death, even if you're in the lowest places of hell, and you just ask Hashem Yitbarach. And how you should ask Him? With truth. Means that even if you're angry, you need to be angry at Him. Means that even if you can't understand, you need to tell Him, I don't understand, I can't understand you, what are you doing? That conversations are the most powerful conversations you will ever talk. Torah shebe'af hi shamdali. The Torah that I was learning in days of judgments, in days of constrictions, in days of angers. That was the Torah that was strengthening me. That was the Torah that gave me power to cross all of my life. Because in those days, I was looking for Hashem. V'karov Hashem lechol korav, and Hashem is close to everyone that calls Him with truth. And we need to call Hashem Yitbarach from the depths. Mima'amakim karaticha Hashem. And mina metzar karatiya, and from the narrow places I called you Hashem. Anani b'merchavya. And suddenly, from the open space, from heaven, Hashem is revealing Himself to him. Merachok Hashem nirali. From far distance, suddenly Hashem reveals Himself to us. Even that we're such a broken vessels. It's written in the Gemara Kedosha that from the day of the destruction of Churban Beit HaMikdash, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is eating and drinking from broken vessels. He Himself is receiving His satisfaction from broken vessels. Those are us. We are those broken vessels. That you can look at yourself and you say, I'm broken. I'm a broken vessel. I'm learning Torah and I forget. I learned that halacha yesterday and I forgot it today. Yesterday. This morning. And I already forgot it at noon. You remember that you need to count Omer and you forget it. 5 minutes after. You came to Shul to say Omer, you received the text during Shemona Esrei and you went out and you forgot to count Omer. The reason you went to pray in a minyan was to count Omer. You received that text during Shemona Esrei and you forgot to count Omer. You know how many people are going through that hell? We have at least one that admits, Everyone are falling. And not to blame ourselves. Hashem turned off the light. Hashem exiled us. You're in the exile. You're between all of those confusions. You're inside all of those constrictions. You cannot avoid them. It's night. You need to illuminate the torch of faith from inside. You need to look for faith inside. We need to talk to ourselves. We need to wake up our souls and to cheer ourselves up and to wake ourselves up and to strengthen ourselves. To talk to our friends and to tell his friends, make another step, one more step. Let's say Tehillim together. Let's go to the mikveh together. Let's do 1 hour Hitbodedut together. Let's go now. Let's go to the forest. Let's go to the field. Let's do 10 minutes. Let's say now. Repeat after me. Let's say now. Hashem, Ta'azor. Please Hashem, help me. Teach him how to pray. Teach him the Aleph Bet. Tell him, let's learn together. It was so hard for me also to start and to learn. Let's learn together. Let's learn 1 Mishnah today. Let's learn 1 Halacha. And then start, just say, that you should count the Omer. That you should say Shema Israel in the morning and in night. That you should wash your hands before you eat bread. Simple, teach him 1 Halacha. You're going to switch his life from darkness to light with 1 Halacha. Because which Torah going to stand for him? Torah Shebe'av. The Torah that he learned when he was under the constrictions, when he was still far away. 1 mitzvah in the beginning. Baalei Tshuva are starting from 1 mitzvah. Suddenly he sees a person with a tzitzit and he looks at that tzitzit and he says, hey, I have to have that tzitzit. I have to wear something like that. The beard, wow, I need to have a beard. You look at a woman, she said, wow, she's covering her head and it's so awesome, it's so amazing. I want to be like that. A long dress, long sleeves, I want to be modest also. 1 mitzvah is waking up the person. 1 mitzvah, he sees, oh, she's saying Tehillim, what are you reading? Oh, it's a Siddur? That's it. That woman that asked that question, she's a Baalei Tshuva already. Because she saw you open the Siddur. Because she saw you doing some small thing, tiny thing that woke her soul up. You don't know what's going to wake someone. So this is why we just need to make 1 step. To make 1 mitzvah. 1 mitzvah. Hayomi bekolot ishma'u. We need to serve Hashem Yitbarach today. And not to look at the future. And for sure not to look at the past. Because the past, it passed already. It's behind us. There's nothing to see over there. Only to focus our eyes to the future and to believe that Hashem Yitbarach is with us. And even though that we are weak and tired, not to lose our yirat shamayim. You can be ayef v'yageh, you can be tired, you can be weak, but don't be eno yireh Elokim. Don't lose your yirat shamayim. Don't lose your faith. Say to Hashem Yitbarach, I'm dead tired. I'm not able to pray Ma'ariv tonight. I'm sorry, Hashem. I'm going to sleep. And go to sleep. Don't lose your yirat shamayim. Don't say, no, how can it be that after such a long day, now I need to go to pray. I'm not going to pray. Don't be angry. Don't lose your faith. Say to Hashem Yitbarach, Hashem, be strong. Be able to stand in front of Hashem like a judgment day and tell him, Hashem, I'm not praying Ma'ariv tonight. I'm sorry. I love you. I don't have the powers for that. I'm going to sleep now. And say Shema Sha'alamida and go to sleep. Be strong enough to stand with your decision in front of Hashem Yitbarach in Judgment Day and tell him, Hashem, I didn't have the time to learn your Torah. I tried. I wanted. But when I was standing in that test, that I had to choose the happiness of my wife and children and learning Torah, I chose to make my wife happy. I don't know if I chose right. But from my point of view, 12 years ago, 1 day ago, in that moment, when I had to choose, I think that I chose right. At least I know that I really wanted to choose right. And I'm able to stand in that test. I'm ready to be judged on that. What's my punishment? Maybe you're going to be rewarded. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said, Gdola avera lishma mi mitzvah shelo lishma. If you sin for Hashem Yitbarach, it's even greater than to keep a mitzvah not for Hashem Yitbarach. You go to Shul because you're an FFB. You're just used to that. And your wife, she doesn't care. Adrabah, it's good for her. He's out. It's quiet. It's great. That's why you're in Shul, actually. Because it's okay for her that you're going to take another half an hour break. It's great. For the children, it's better. For her, it's better. For you, for sure, it's better. So great, whatever. Everybody's happy. You're going to come with that mitzvah. Hashem, I never missed Ma'ariv in public. I was always going from age of 13 for Shul. Never missed Ma'ariv in Minyan. It was my Shul. Which reward you're going to receive on that? If you never meant to be there, if you never cared really about the tefillah. Tefillah belo kavanah, it's like a body without a soul. A prayer without an intention, it's like a body without a soul. You're standing Shemona Esrei, fast as a light train, the speed of light, Hashem Sfatai Tiftachu V'yagiti L'Tera Baruch Ata Hashem, and you don't understand the words, and you don't have no connection to the tefillah. Which reward you're going to receive on that tefillah? And I'm not saying that to break your spirit at all. Just even more so that you're going to find power to say one word with intention. Just when you start Shemona Esrei, call Hashem when you say Hashem. Sfatai tiftach, you want to say. So just say that first verse with the heart. Just say to Hashem Yitbarach, Hashem, open my lips and my mouth is going to praise you. Please, just that. If you said that, you said the most important part of the tefillah, even though that it's before of the tefillah. That's the most important, also halachically. That's the most important part of the Shemona Esrei. If you, I don't want to ruin too much for you tonight, but if you didn't have the intention while you said that first word, Hashem, when you called Hashem, when you said Hashem, Sfatai Tiftachu V'yagiti L'Techa, if you didn't thought about Hashem when you said Hashem, it's like you haven't prayed Shemona Esrei. La'alacha. Check it. Mutav, it's better for the person to do a little bit with intention than to do a lot without an intention. Even small amounts. Even say just that. Count on me, please. I'm taking all of your avonot on me. Everything. Just listen to me in that. I'm taking all of your avonot. All of your crimes. It's on camera. It's Hashem is here. Sefer Torah B'Echad. I'm taking all of your avonot on me. I promise you. If you're just going to do one small thing for me. Just say the name of Hashem Yitbarach with intention and when you say Hashem. Hashem, Sfatai Tiftach. I don't care about the rest of Shemona Esrei, not first bracha, not first verse. Just if you're going to say Hashem and you're going to think about Hashem, I'm taking on myself all of your avonot, I promise you. Okay? It's recorded. Okay? Hashem is here, you believe? Okay. Hashem, I'm taking it all on me, all of your avonot. If what? If you're just going to call Him. If when you say Hashem, when you're standing Shemona Esrei, I promise you, Dror Moshe ben Emanuela is telling you all, I'm taking on myself all of your avonot, I don't care, I'm not afraid, I'm happy, I have very wide shoulders. I'm happy to do that for each and every one of you. You hear me? If you just say Hashem with the intention of calling Hashem from now on, try that. Just work on that. And I'm taking it all on myself, I promise you. I promise you all that you're going to see miracles in your life if you're just going to connect yourself to Hashem. I was talking to a certain woman a few days ago, and she was telling me and questioning, and she's religious, she's very strong, Haredi woman, and she's asking questions straight to the point, and she knows the Torah, and she's asking, and I told her, I know a lot of religious people that doesn't have faith. It's not hard for me to hear you asking, and what are you doing, and what you do when this happens. And all of those questions are coming straight from hell, straight from lack of faith. When you count on Hashem Yitbarach, Habotech B'Hashem, Chesed Yisovevenu. Okay, so where is that kindness? Where is that Chesed? Where is that confidence? I'm asking. The truth is that you don't have confidence. This is why you don't see the kindness. You count on yourself, you count on your lawyer, you count on your wife, you count on your brother, you count on your friend, you count on your rabbi, you don't count on Hashem. Count on Hashem. I once drove in Eilat on the shore, on the highway close to the Red Sea, on Yam Suf. Yam Suf, it's not only in the Agadah of Pesach. It exists. It's in Eretz Israel, in Eilat, on the border of Egypt. It's really there. You can see that. You can touch it. You can swim over there. And I'm driving, and I took a hitchhiker, Trumpist, with me on the car. And he's a secular person. And we're driving down the road, and I'm asking him, tell me, with beard, I'm with peot, beard, everything, on my way to the mikveh. And I'm asking him, tell me, do you really believe that Hashem Yitbarach opened the Red Sea and Am Yisrael went in a dry land in the middle of the sea? And he's looking at me and he's telling me, you're asking me if I believe? You need to believe in that. Why are you asking me? I'm secular. Why are you asking me? Ani chiloni. What do you want from me? I told him, you think that it's easy for me to believe in that? I'm looking now on the sea and I see the water is so heavy. I don't understand it. It's hard for me. I want to believe. I'm claiming to. I'm telling, yes, I believe. Stand in front of the Red Sea and believe now that Hashem Yitbarach is going to open the sea for you. That's the test of the believer. That was the test of Nachshon ben Aminadav. Nachshon ben Aminadav, when he went into the water was still there. And when he decided to make the second step into the water, nothing moved. And when the water were until here, nothing moved. All of us, we would go back. All of us, we would go back. I would go back. It's frightening. Okay, so we decided to make another few steps. Okay, so now we're standing in the water right here. Nothing moved yet. Only when he started choking and those salty waters started to enter into his throat and he started coughing and he decided to make another step. That's when Hashem opened the sea for him. Not one moment before. How many options he had for despair, to regret, to say, Hayesh Elokim bekirbenu im ayin, maybe Hashem is not with us anymore. Maybe we sinned, like Yaakov Avinu said, Shema chet gara, maybe the sin. No, let's say Hashem is right, just we messed up, just we sinned. Let's blame it on us, let's put it on us. It's not the right way. Not to blame Hashem for sure, and not to blame ourselves. Just to keep on marching to Zion. That's the right way. We cannot blame Him, for sure. He's always right. We cannot blame ourselves. Because if you're really going to check why you sinned, if you're really going to go to the roots, to the reason why you failed, why you're so weak, why you're falling again and again, you're going to realize that you cannot blame that kid. Because your patterns and the things that brought you to sin today are things that started in the early days, when you didn't have no control on your life. Things that started in the relationship of your parents, in your house, in your childhood, in the neighborhood, between your friends, with your brothers. Situations that you were helpless, you couldn't avoid them. You couldn't stop them. Things that Hashem made brought you to be who that you are today. So you cannot blame yourself on anything. That's the exile. So you cannot blame Him and you cannot blame yourself. So what there's to do? No one to blame. To take a brave decision and to make another step. To reveal your will. To give your heart. To say, but I want. I don't know how to keep Shabbat, but I want. I don't know what's the halachot of Pesach, but I want. And it's going to count even more to Hashem Yitbarach that your will is pure and holy, even if you're going to make halachic mistakes. Even if you're going to do Averah, it's going to be Averah Lishma. And you're going to be able to stand in Judgment Day in front of Hashem and to tell Him, Hashem, I sinned for you. The ones of you that listen to my classes already heard that concept so many times. Who can explain the act of Moshe Rabbeinu breaking the holy tablets? No one can explain that crazy act. You take the first Sefer Torah that ever been written by Hashem, been created by Hashem, finger of Hashem carved those letters in a stone that been made by Hashem before of the creation. And you, humble Moshe, feel so grateful to Hashem Yitbarach, receive that amazing gift from Hashem Yitbarach, and you really appreciate the Torah Kedosha, and you hold those holy 10 commandments, and you decide in a certain test in your life to throw them to the ground. And Hashem Yitbarach in the end is telling him, Yeshar kochacha sheshibarta. Hashem tells Moshe, I'm praising you, I'm honoring you. You've done the right thing. I want to see that rabbi that will have that power, that courage, that ability to burn a Sefer Torah for Hashem Yitbarach, to tear a Sefer Torah to pieces for Hashem Yitbarach. Shivrei luchot munachim ba'aron. Cuts, pieces. He really broke the tablets. You're going to take a Sefer Torah from Heichal and going to tear it for Hashem Yitbarach? The righteous people in the generation of the Holocaust, in the decrees, they were ready to go into the fire with the Sefer Torah, never to put it down, never to throw. Who's going to throw a Sefer Torah to the fire? No one, except of Moshe Rabbeinu. What, he was the biggest kofar of them all? No. He is the head of all of the believers. He is the head of all of the prophets. And he believes in himself. He believes in his ability to judge that situation and to take a step. And et lasot l'Hashem eferu toratecha, there are times that you need to do for Hashem Yitbarach, and when you want to do really for Hashem Yitbarach in that time, you need to violate some rules. And sometimes those rules going to be from the basic rules, from the foundations of Judaism. Break a Sefer Torah, burn a Sefer Torah, throw holy tablets to the ground. Those holy tablets, those wooden ones that you have on holy arks, on Heichal Kodesh, no one going to dare. Everyone will Charadat Kodesh, going to remove them, put them in the Gnizah, going to bury them. Those are not the holy tablets. It's a wooden, some carpenter made them. Who knows what he was thinking? Well, they might not contain no kedusha, and you're going to shake and be so afraid to hold them and to move them and to put them. When you want to replace the Eichal HaKodesh, you're going to cry to Hashem Yitbarach, should I do that, Hashem? Someone put his neshama into that Eichal HaKodesh. Am I allowed to move it, to replace? You want to do something better, you want to do something new, and you're going to be afraid to touch that Eichal HaKodesh. Moshe Rabbeinu took the first Sefer Torah and threw it down to the ground. How you do something like that? Only if you believe in yourself. Only if you understand inside of yourself that your acts are all L'Shem Shamayim, and you check yourself and you see, I am L'Shem Shamayim. I want to serve Hashem. And now, out of that holy will that I want to serve Hashem Yitbarach, I'm realizing that I have to break the rule. So then you find the power to do that. Only there, when you believe in yourself, when you see that all of your actions are L'Shem Shamayim, then you have the free choice. Then you can choose. Only in that moment, only when you believe in yourself, you can find Hashem inside of yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never going to find Hashem inside of yourself. To believe in yourself, it's to believe that you have something inside. And that thing is part of heaven. Is that neshama elokit that Hashem gave us. Each and every one of us have that soul inside of Him. And we're not allowed to ignore that. Those are inner voices. That's our conscious. It's our feelings. That's our thoughts. We need to look, to observe, to find them. It's in your mouth and in your heart to feel and to find. So we need to talk to Hashem Yitbarach, words of truth, words of prayer that are coming from the heart, that are coming from the point of truth that we have inside of ourselves, to expose ourselves, to confess, to ask, to share, and to talk to Hashem. Those simple words going to bring the redemption, going to bring the Geulah. And like we said, even though that we are weak, even though that we are broken, Hashem receives satisfaction from us. Hizaharu b'vnei aniyim kemehem tetzeh Torah. You need to honor the children of the poor people, because from them the Torah is going to come out to the world, because they're humble. The fact that we're so broken and so far is a gift from heaven. It's not a punishment. It's not our lacking. It's our praise. That's our glory. That's our beauty. Because with all of those weaknesses, with all of those lackings, our car is still driving with no fuel. And our nation is functioning without a leader. And you're functioning without a brain and without a heart. And you cannot see things like that except with a miracle. We are miracles. The fact that we drag ourselves to make another step, it's a miracle. It's a wonder. On that you should say, כוחו גבורתו מלא עולם, עושה מעשה בראשית, much more than on the Niagara Falls. When you see a person that is keeping Torah mitzvot, once I heard from one of the righteous people that he said that if you see a Holocaust survivor, that he's got a kippah on his head, just a kippah, ask for every blessing that he's going to bless you. It's going to be more than a blessing of Kohen Gadol for you. If he went through what he went through and he still have a kippah on his head, his blessing is stronger than a blessing of a Kohen Gadol in Beit HaMikdash. We need to understand that the fact that we're still holding on in this crazy world, in this crazy darkness with kippah, keep on honoring religious people and Talmidei Chachamim, keep on honoring the Torah, keep on keeping some halachot in our lives. It's our power. We're important because of that. It's showing how strong we are, because the darkness is very thick. The exile is very, very dark and far and hard. And if we're holding on, it means that we have a lot of energy inside, a lot of inner powers, even that we look like we look. The strongest, most powerful heroes, when they're coming from the battlefield after the war, they all look like floor eggs. They all look like wounded and filthy. But they are our heroes, even that they look like they look. So don't let the physicality of yours to confuse you, to reject you from believing yourself, because the will counts, because Rachmana li babai, because the Creator, He wants your heart, and if your heart is straight, so Hashem is with you. Thank you very much. I bless you all to succeed, and to be able not only to learn and know the Torah, just also to keep it, also to find the power to make that step, to reveal the kingship of Hashem Yitbarach in the world, that each and every one of you are going to be Kiddush Hashem Me'alech, honoring Hashem Yitbarach in every step you make. And everyone that's going to see you, going to do tshuva, going to have thoughts of tshuva. Hashem going to bless you all in your hearts, in your minds, in your pockets, your families, your friends, your companies, all to succeed. And that people are going to respect you and going to listen to your message. That you're going to have thousands and thousands of followers and students that are going to accept from you advice and guidings how to illuminate the light of Hashem Yitbarach in the world. Amen. Thank you very much. Chazak u'baruch.